Hi wrestling fans, thanks for clicking on the Dreaded D Rose report. Let's go on with this week. Hope you guys caught the pay-per-view last night. Haven't heard whether it was a thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me know in the comments if you want, if you've seen it. Alright, let's get on to some other stuff. If I look a little weird today, it's because I normally do. But I did get a haircut. It was the one right over there, I think. Word is that WWE Diva title match has been changed to a four-way match, and it was planned even before that night. They act like it happened all at once. But anyway, t-shirts being sold for the event featured the four-way title instead of a handicap match anyway, so that tells you it was done in advance. But when they did change it on the pay-per-view, I mean, when they announced it, they didn't say who Natalya's partner was going to be, and there was a lot of chance for Awesome Kong. I don't know what they're going to call her there, whether it was just awesomeness to be alright. There are said to be some frustrations between WWE officials and Rey Mysterio right now as it relates to him to continue needing time off and a lighter schedule. It's said that Rey is no longer traveling first class. And WWE realizes that Rey won't be around for many more years and really want to fill the void with the Hispanic market when he does leave. And Vince is pushing John Laurinaitis to find lots of Hispanic stars, including Alberto. Dave Meltzer, by the way, he reported that Booker T is under some sort of a contract with WWE, but Kevin Nash is not. So he's probably like on a pay-per, you know, Bret Hart was kind of like that, pay-per event. So we'll see how many events they pay him for. The feeling is that WWE may offer work, more work basis on the reactions at the pay-per-view last night. So if both of them went over good, they'll both get some sort of a, you know, maybe a short contract, maybe a year. Booker T may end up doing anything from announcing to managing and working backstage. A role Booker T on, or they could even put him on Tough Enough. Hang on. Alright, got that out of the way. Anyway, last night's 40-man Battle Royal, Royal Rumble, whatever you want to call it, that match was the longest WWE match in history of the Royal Rumble. It was 70 minutes long. Michael Cole noted last night that the 40th entrance was Kane and entered his 13th straight Royal Rumble match in a row. Another new record. First time Alberto won. That's a new record. Anyway, while Evan Bourne was rumored to be one of the names last night at the Royal Rumble event, going to be showing up, but anyway, the Raw star was not quite ready to return to action, so Bourne noted on his Twitter account this weekend that he's still doing some physical therapy, and Bourne is scheduled to return in time for WrestleMania, though. 3 WWE stars are advertised for the Royal Rumble, but did not appear were Primo Colon, Darren Young, and David Hart Smith. This left like 9 slots open still. Anyway, the 6 before the match and 3 left open, you know, by them not appearing. Anyway, these 9 slots were ended up being filled by Kevin Nash, Booker T, Dolph Ziggler, Randy Orton, Alex Riley, Hornswoggle, Tyler Rex, Chavo Guerrero, and the Great Khali made his return with his manager, vocal cords, whatever you want to call him, Rajan Singh. Tonight's WWE Raw will be taking place from the Donut Center, Dunkin' Donut Center, Providence, Rhode Island. With all the fallout from Royal Rumble, should be fairly good. They usually have a higher rating after a pay-per-view. Anyway, advertised locally is going to be John Cena, Randy Orton taking on CM Punk and The Miz with Cole as referee. Now that's probably going to be a dark match, I guess. Or, well, after the to send the crowd home happy show. Former WWE star MVP, he's rumored to be making his New Japan Pro Wrestling debut on their February 20th show. As noted before, Super Lucha is reporting that WWE has signed Mexico star Mistico to a deal finally. Mistico apparently flew to the United States last Tuesday and signed a contract, and the EMLL promotion in Mexico had an agreement with Mistico where he would tell them if he was in the negotiations with WWE, and the word is that he violated that agreement. bad boy. Of course, WWE always wants you to keep quiet, so what are you going to do? You know, go by your past employer or your future employer. That's it's a given. Even if WWE wanted to use the Mystico gimmick, which is always you know how they do things, they likely couldn't, as it said that EMLL owns the rights to the gimmick. Mystico is going to be heading to WWE Developmental for future training beginning soon. Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler talked about how Natalya was making history at the Royal Rumble when she did a double sharpshooter on Layla and Eve Torres. Actually, you know, Natalya actually did the first move as we've seen on TV on Layla and Michelle McCool back at TLC pay-per-view, and I think it was in December if I remember right. Anyway, it was during the Diva Table Ladders, well, the tables match anyway, where she teamed with Beth Phoenix. The two, I guess two readers noted that to us how many tweets were on Twitter last night where WWE fans commented on wondering if Kevin Nash and Booker T has been, well, they've been doing since their last run in WWE. And it was not pointed out by a large number of Twitter fans that they acted like they didn't know Nash and Booker T was in TNA. I don't know where them people have been. Must have been tweeting too much. Paid attention to news shows. As noted over the weekend, Jim Neidhart and Ken Patera, which I seen Ken Patera on the Bobby Heenan DVD. Man, I would have never recognized him. But anyway, Neidhart and Ken Patera were pulled from the Legends Battle Royal at the PWG show at WrestleMania Reunion 5 in Los Angeles. Patera was pulled due to back issue, I guess he's been dealing with, and Neidhart actually was pulled from the match because his autograph signing session earlier went over, originally agreed to 3 hours, and it ordered him to, you know, stay away from the signings. I don't know what that deal was. The promoters agreed to let him skip the Battle Royal for that night. So they didn't want to pull him away. They just had too long a line, I guess. Several more wrestlers took to the Twitter last night on the Royal Rumble. Shawn Michaels, just to say a few. Shawn Michaels on Kevin Nash, he says, "Hey, I know that guy." He says, "First guy to get a chant," I guess at the Rumble entrance. Chris Jericho on Kevin Nash says, "Great seeing Diesel back in WWE." He said, "Perfect for him for a nice surprise." Chris Jericho said on John Morrison, he said, "Morrison's barrier jump spot was incredible. All-time Rumble highlight." CM Punk and Cena, you know, tied for the most eliminations, I guess, at last night's Battle Royal with they had 7 each. Nexus as a group had 10 totally though. Following a list of, let me see what else I got here. I got a list of, you know, who eliminated who, but let me go on down here, get this out of the way. The Miz was not an entrance in the match and had 1 elimination. It was John Cena though. Anyway, celebration at TNA returned to Sky on Challenge TV Thursday night at midnight. They offered personal Twitter messages from the world champion Ken Anderson, where he would, you know, trash talk to your friends. I guess TNA provided some instructions on how to do it. All right, current main event scheduled for TNA is Against All Odds pay-per-view February 13th. Is Mr. Anderson taking on Jeff Hardy in the ladder match for the title, and Kurt Angle taking on Jeff Jarrett and probably his ex-wife and whoever else. TNA officials have been scrambling, I guess, to rewrite this week's TV taping and current storylines after negotiations with Booker T and Kevin Nash fell through. They must have had plans there. Spike TV officials are worried about the main event Mafia's return. It is them who request the TNA officials to bring the group back in the first place. And then they left. Matt Hardy took to the Twitter and thanked fans for his, you know, Thursday's most watched, the most watched in the history, I guess, of TNA. So awesome, appreciated TNA Impact viewers tuning in and all this stuff. And I want to thank you guys for turning and clicking and all this stuff on this show. And I gotta go.